perfect way to start. Alright, hey everybody. Okay, today we are going to start out with a warm-up after we get our heart rate monitor working again. There we go. Our secondary, watch was showing 0, so we are either dead or the watch is broken. I'm not sure which. Let's crack open water too. So today we got our workout, of course. We'll start a day early for the rest of the time trial stuff. So we are into, let's see, we have week 1 clean and finished. Week 2 starting 30 by 30s anaerobic, number 2. So we got 2 sets of 295 for 30 seconds and then 30 seconds at 130. So just back and forth in between those. Let's see what else. Anaerobic 12s, 195 and 230. Let's see here. 310 down to 140. This one will be fun. This is right in between top threshold and top of zone 3. Build ups to 228. And this kind of cool down. Perfect. All right, so before we get started with our 30-30s for the day, we are going to do a little group ride as per usual. So we are running the Z1, of course. Since we're going to be in a group, we want to draft a little bit. So we got the Z1 going on. Our socks do not match the Z1 though, so we're going to have to change that. Let's go. There we go. We'll just go full Academy kit, and we'll start with Volcano Flat, 2.5 watts per kilogram. That's putting us around 190-ish wattage. So that will be perfect. We'll do a little bit of a warm up there, a little bit higher intensity, and we'll see how that feels. Legs are a little cold, so this will be nice to get all warmed up. We'll have to make sure we're in a big enough gear. There we go. All right. We'll tuck into arrow. And there's 2 donut jerseys that we... How did they get them? All right, so this should be a good enough pace that we can just stick in the pack. Let's start the secondary heart rate so we can see where we are there, and then settle in, and of course get the water ready. Alright, so Maria says 2.2 watts per kilogram, 165. So that's a little bit different than what was advertised, but that's okay. Where's my mouse? Thanks, Webster. We missed that right on. Mouse disappeared. Thanks, Homan. Alright. Let's get into a slightly bigger gear. Thanks, Brom. So we're going to be just around, it looks like 180, 190. Not bad. Hey, they got the Training Peaks jersey. Thanks, Mac. Got a new mouse connected, and it's not playing nice. Keep missing the right on. Well, I'll be quicker. I'll have to keep an eye out for all those. It jumps around just a little bit, making it more difficult. Yep, there's the donut jersey. The internet lied to us on that one. I was hoping to check and see if Herd had any group rides today, but didn't run into any. Alright. Hop on to a wheel. Let's see. Since it's a higher watts per kilogram, we shouldn't have to be too worried about the about dropping the pacer. And if we do, they'll catch up pretty fast. We'll just try to keep it steady. The loop is flat enough. Won't have very many issues. Alright, wrist 154 heart rate, chest 151. That's close enough. Wait up for Maria for a second. Get a little bit of water. Try to preload before the actual workout. So yeah, usually post-race, it shows everything. This one's just a group ride. So, no leaderboards. Zwift Power is a good place to go to for all the post-race stuff, though. They usually update pretty quick, too. Let's see, Maria's just a little bit behind. Yeah, very much so. I'm a big fan of Zwift Power. They did a good job. Okay, we'll back off a gear. We don't want to lose the multiplier, of course. Main thing. There we go. Okay, they're catching up. Perfect. Thanks, Hill. Trainer intensity. That's an interesting one. Usually, I've found that it changes per trainer. The Direct Connect usually does a decent job of keeping it steady. I've had issues with the trainers that just put pressure on the wheel with slipping when you get to higher wattage. So it, changes up the intensity that way. Usually the built-in FTP, thanks, right, is pretty good about keeping it even. Yeah, that's always a good idea. I ran into most problems with like Ruby. That one had an issue with keeping the intensity at a manageable pace. It always seems like hills were like 150% of what it should be. Yeah, Ruby, I mean, it does have its value. It's different, but in a good way. It's kind of fun to jump back and forth. There's not quite as many game mechanics in Ruby, but they do a good job on the courses. Oh, oops. We're gonna let Maria fall off the back. Yeah, so the built-in workouts are actually pretty decent. Right now, we're a week or so into the time trial training. The other ones I've done so far are pretty good too. The gravel training one was fun. They pretty extensive, usually like 8 to 12 weeks. But honestly, doing intervals and free training, free rides, works pretty well as well. It just makes it, you have to pay attention to your watts a little bit more without the ERG, which is a good thing. You learn to, be more into the ride, I guess. So both have value. Let's see, yeah, Maria's falling off the back. We'll hop down, spin a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I wish they did save them. It would be nice having you could like see after your ride where you were and your placing and everything. Also, green jersey, way to go. Those are hard to get. Jerseys are not easy. Let's see, where'd Maria go? She kind of fell off the back. Yeah, that's always a frustrating part. I wish it gave you the information of where you were after the segment. Because like you've encountered, the jersey disappears and it just doesn't tell you where it went, which is always sad. Yeah, exactly. I wish they let you do small scale organized events. That'd be cool. Very much so. I'm with you there. You'd think they could add that pretty easily, but either it's not a priority for them or something. I don't know. I wonder how the teams do it. I feel like there's some smaller teams that get away with organized events. Thank you. Yeah, we're just trying to wait up for this pace group. We'll see. Just taking a second. Of course, we're just far enough away. We're not getting the points multiplier, which is always fun. They're making their way up. This little group we have here is pretty good. So the multiplier right underneath your mileage and time, when you're next to a race partner, it'll go up 1.0 times, then 1.2, 1.6, 1.8, and it multiplies how many points you get to like buy frames and wheels and that sort of stuff. Kind of an incentive to stay packed. But it's easy to, get into a little bit of a breakaway and lose them. Yeah, I usually ride solo as well. It's nice when you can modulate your pace and not have to worry about anything. There we go. So yeah, so right underneath our level, there's the race partner and then our multiplier. So easy to lose it. I think around 30 meters away is when they cut it on you, and then every lap it resets. Also, I'm ditching the sweatshirt. It's getting a little too warm. There we go. Yeah, so the workouts, they either give you a wattage with just, whatever cadence you want to get to that point or RPMs, or some workouts they give you a wattage associated with some sort of turnover they're looking for. So low cadence, high cadence. Usually it's just your wattage number and then however you want to get to that point. If you're using the trainer built-in ERG difficulty, then you just pick whatever cadence you want and it will up the difficulty or lower it to whatever it is. Makes it nice. You don't really have to shift. You can just kind of tuck in and hope for the best in some cases. Then you don't have to worry about uphills, downhills, drafting. It takes away like any terrain changes. Makes it nice to just focus in on whatever the workout is. Yeah, the winter, they do a good job of off-season workouts. I'm a big fan of them. And so far, they translate to outdoor pretty well. I don't know if Ruby has any workouts specifically. I only used them for a couple months and just did free rides. But it might have been the trainer I was using. They were hard, which is good. That's how that's how you improve. All right, we're dropping Maria again. Yeah, those Flanders Classics are pretty cool. They have some interesting workouts, rides, that kind of stuff. I like them. You usually get pretty decent riders to make the workouts, which is cool. Not during it though. During it just hurts. But afterwards, it's deferred fun. It's not too bad. And usually you get pretty cool jerseys, equipment, the like from them, which are fun to collect. Let's see, Maria's 42 meters. Man, I was expecting, we keep losing the group. But the breakaways we've been with so far, they've been okay. They've been good. We'll just hang out with whoever. Oh, very much so. That is that is one huge difference, is I feel like I sweat twice as much indoor than I do outdoor. Even with multiple fans, AC, whatever, I've never been able to get temperature down, which is nice. Then when you go outside, you're already, broken in to sweating it out. Once you get a little bit of a headwind, totally fine. It's nice, but a little difficult to keep the temperature okay indoors. Always have a towel. That's kind of the main thing. Also, oh, there we go. Maria's back up with us. Perfect. Yeah, so the plan for today, do about 20 miles with this group. Should be around an hour. Usually it's, depending on how flat it is, we can get that done about an hour. And then hour time trial workout. And then maybe cool down. We'll see. Sometimes the workouts cool downs are a little short. Sometimes they're right on the money, and other times they are like 5 minutes. Those ones, you kind of have to grab something else. Also, my computer's been struggling, so we have those little EMPs on the trainer where they just disconnect for a second. But we didn't lose the wheel. We are fine. There we go. Perfect. Yesterday we lost the wheel, and man, trying to get back up. Yeah, I found that inside it almost feels longer than it is, since you're just looking at the screen. At least outdoors you can feel like you're going somewhere. And you do feel like you've gotten more done, almost. Since you can turn around and see your distance, or, They should be pretty good though. We'll see. It's been good so far this week. Just had to make sure to do a lot of rolling out. Yes, that is always encouraging, because sometimes you get onto these hills and you can't see anybody's expression, so it's like, are they going hard? Are they going easy? A little demoralizing sometimes. Or, in the flip side, you can pretend that you're not feeling it easier in these. Yeah, lots of hills around me. So, makes it interesting to try to do flats out here. Every once in a while there's some good places, but lots of hills. Which, good practice. Kind of forces you to get your technique in, so you can hold on during the hills and put in work in other places, or just do hills. That's always easier. Let's see, where'd Maria go? Alright, she's coming up. We haven't lost multiplier yet. You're all set there. There we go. Yep, we're letting the one in the race partner. I'm from the West Coast area of the US, so almost accent, but not. But I've lived across, so a little bit of everything. I have noticed that you get a trade-off in the US. The lower states, you get a lot of heat, and the air is really thick, which is nice in some cases, very tiring in the others. A little bit of both. Humidity, but West Coast has a lot less humidity, but usually more hills. But it's nice though. A little drier. You don't have as much air, but you definitely feel like you're going faster. Until you start having to breathe hard. Then you notice no air. I always thought like Washington State is always pretty good. I don't know him. I'll have to check him out. There's some really good cycling content out there from some West Coast groups that I need to dig more into. I'll take note of that. I'll have to check him out. Oh, perfect. There's Maria. Thanks, Harlick. Yeah, so Maria is just, I think, NPC, and just keeps a pretty steady pace. I'm not sure how they calculate it. It's supposed to be at a set wattage to set the pace to be pretty much the same uphill, downhill, flats. I'm not sure if you can draft off them or what. I think they're based off of like an 80 kilogram rider, so you have to adjust what your watts per kilogram is to match. They're usually pretty on the nose on flats, still trying to get used to their uphills and downhills. Up hills, they usually slow down. Down hills, they seem to just take off. Every single pacer. I'm not sure why. It also could be that when you hit hills, you automatically try to keep the same pace as you were going. I don't know. That was one of those details that I remember during the ride, and then afterwards, it's gone. I need to just write them down, and then after each ride, just Google through everything. But sometimes it's hard to remember. See, like, just a little bit of a hill and they're right behind. Yeah, so it's okay so far. You know, trying to dial in the correct warm-up is a little difficult. So it's trying to keep it, you know, not too slow, not too fast. Pretty decent right now, not too bad. Good recovery yesterday. A little bit of carb loading. We'll see. Sometimes you get, you know, warm-ups that over time it builds up that lactic acid, and then you get to your main set or get farther into the ride, and then it just hits you like a ton of bricks. But so far so good. Yes, I do agree with that. The warm-up and cooldowns are a little all over the place. Usually, it seems like the workouts, their warm-up is like 5 minutes. So you just shoot to your zone 3. You know, you're only like a 40, 50 seconds at each zone. And then, of course, the cooldown is just blink and you're finished. I have noticed a couple of them give like 15 minutes warm up and cool down, but not usually, which is sad. I feel like getting in the right direction. I feel on the free rides. I get that. That one, yeah. It's always sad when you get that finish screen to show your average on wattage, and you know you're trying to be good and get your warm up and cool down in, and it does a number on your average numbers, your average wattage. Also, I don't know what it is today, but we're having a hard time keeping Maria in the sights. They'll catch up. Still trying to get used to the Z1. Yep, I think you're right. maybe this is a recovery day. The computers have to recover too, you know. Maybe not enough carb loading the day before. Maybe yesterday was a hard workout. It's a good point. I need to work on having more patience for the computers. Also, trying to get used to the Z1 has been a little interesting, since can't quite tell what pace to go, since it does pretty decently on everything, so you don't have to. It's like right in the average. I was right in the middle there. Almost accidentally grabbed the time trial for this one, which would have been bad. No drafting on the time trials. So we would have been having quite a time trying to keep up with everybody. We might just have to stick with this breakaway group. Because yeah, we can't even see where the Pacers went. Luckily, we have quite a few people out today. Let's see. 1,693. It's pretty good. I think yesterday we were in the McCurry Island area and there was barely 250. There was nobody out, so all the pacer groups were 5 or 6 people. But today, it looks pretty good. Yeah, France, I've noticed, is the same way. There's usually a ton of people on the weekdays, and the weekend hits and nobody. It gets super quiet. Which can be nice sometimes, since the France routes have some crazy hills, so you can, yeah, exactly, just hills. I've tried doing those during the weekdays, and sometimes you get somebody that just like flies past you, like 4 or 5 watts per kilogram. You just kind of have to smile and wave. Also, your draft gets cut down on the hills. So even if you wanted to, it's hard to pace off people. There's so many of them. There's a couple good routes, but most of them have some. Though I like those routes I save for climbing days. They are tough. So right now I'm using the Garmin, what is it? Tacx Neo 2T. I'm pretty happy with the performance on it, like how loud it is. Previously I was using, which one was it? A Cyclops something, where it was just wheel pressure instead of directly connected. And that one was overall pretty decent, but whenever you hit higher wattage, the wheel would start to break loose no matter how tight you got it, and it would just screech every once in a while. Not quite. You know, that's the end goal. End goal of 2200. I have a ways to go. Keep pushing up the wattage, see what happens. I've noticed around the 1,000 watt mark, you get kind of an electrical smell every once in a while, but you know, nowhere near the 2200. I have not gotten up there yet. But that's the final goal. You know, just use it up and then switch to a different one. 800 watt, that's killer. That is very good. It's hard to hit that kind of wattage. Like 800, that's a hard one to get up to, because you really have to like get that turnover in, and you have to, you know, your technique becomes really important. Congrats. That's really good. What course were you on? There's a few sprints that are just hard to get through, period, let alone get your wattage up. Oh, gotcha. Yep, that is a solid wattage. You deserve the green. That is cool. Tacx Express is a good one. It's just enough of a sprint that you like. It really starts to burn at the end. With that one, I've always either started way too early or way too late. And then either way, your thighs start really feeling it. Or at least in arrow position, usually the thighs hit. I've noticed when you're like in the drops, it's always my calves. Those are the first to go. I agree with that. I wish they gave you some sort of marker or flag, since it's just that little green line on the ground and the small little pylon off to the side. They're so easy to miss. At least with the climbs, you know, when it starts to increase height, you know that it's coming, but with the sprints, it's like, it's hard to pick out. Especially because it's so short, you got to get the intensity up quick, and those lines come super fast. Exactly. There's a couple. I think the reverse figure 8 on Watopia, right before the Italian villas. You can kind of see the gate coming down the hill, and I found that one always makes it easier, because you can gauge where you are and, like you said, get a running start on it, versus some of them are hidden. You just never know when they're coming until you get the box on the left that pops up and tells you, you know, ready to go. And by that time, spinning up just gets you to the gate. It gets difficult on those. I wish they put the kind of like the indicators on pacers or PRs, where there's that kind of cylindrical light above them to show you where it is. If they could just add that there or something, any kind of indication, that'd be all over. But they're all hidden and packed away in there. Hopefully in the next update. $895, that is killer. Yeah, so I think there's a 900, 1,000, and a 1,200 achievement, I think. But $895, that is, next time, you got that. You just got like 1 or 2 more turnovers, you are golden. That is really good. It's always hard mentally when you're right there. Oh, nice. Yeah, standing up definitely can help get you those last couple watts. But you are right. Some of the trainers, the ones that I've tried so far, I always feel just a little unsteady getting up there and standing up. I've had issues with like them, you know, too loose on the wheels, or yeah, usually outdoors. That's the nice part. You don't have to worry about any trainers or anything. You can just go for it. And then also, it's easier to see everything. There are definitely some positives to outside that sometimes you just can't get on the trainer. Yes. I think it was last week, I was trying to sprint and I accidentally pulled too much on the handlebars and popped the front wheel out of the little stabilizer in the front. It scared me to death. Now that would have been embarrassing to crash on a trainer. It's not the easiest thing to explain. Yeah, the outdoor makes it nice to be able to just throw the bike around and not have to worry about the trainer or anything like that. It's also easier keep balance and keep aware of your surroundings. And there's bike moves with you instead of being, you know, bolted to the ground, which can make it a little interesting. Those are fun sprints though. There's quite a few good ones in the France paces or area. Yeah, so there's been a couple groups that actually put like events out that have gates front and back to kind of keep you in the same area. And that works for riding with groups or riding with people, but trying to just free ride with people is it's so difficult, because like you said, it's trying to keep the same pace, and since there's, you know, just minute little bits of lag here and there, it's easy to break away or accidentally get dropped or drop. So it's free rides especially very hard to keep that kind of group ride going. And then other times it just works out. Like we have McGee here with us, who we just kind of naturally became a group. That happens. I found that's always easier. Yeah, the U-turn sometimes doesn't work, and I don't know why or what or when, but you'll hit the U-turn and it'll just like block you from moving anywhere. I wish there was a little bit more steering control. There's also been a lot of times I've tried not to make a U-turn and accidentally hit the wrong key and you're going in reverse. And then to catch up to people, sometimes you just have to sit there and make U-turns until either they catch up to you or they do the same and you can catch up to them. Not very many steering options. I think right now the best we've got was during the Zwift Academy ride, 12:26. So a little up there. You know, there's definitely quite a bit of work that needs to do, it needs to get done, but it's an okay starting place. We'll see. The time trial workout group is supposed to be pretty good. Thank you. Yeah, that was the best of the time. You know, always trying to just push that up a little bit higher. But this workout series we're doing right now should be pretty okay. It should aid in the top end power. Hopefully. We'll see. A lot of zone 2 work in the time trial stuff. And then a lot of zone 5. So it's in there. At least that's what the advertising of the workout said. So we're just gonna go by that and hope for the best. Hopefully the FTP comes with it. Also, we're back with the pacer group. That worked out great. Yeah, I used to do lots of races outside. Now that it's getting colder, I've switched to mostly indoors. Switched to strictly bike just like within the last year from triathlons. So getting used to the, you know, dropping it all in just the bike versus trying to assign muscle groups to each group. It's a little bit of work outside. Of course, outdoor equipment is a lot more expensive than being able to buy all the bike parts in Zwift. It's a little pricier. But it's definitely has its positives being outside. Also, the drafting is substantially different. I would say more fun. Other than having any crashing problems. Since you can run into people drafting here and be golden. But outdoor criterium type races are definitely the way to go. Time trials feel about the same, since you're just all by yourself and just cranking over. Pretty much the same as outside. The group rides, criterions, that kind of stuff, very different, and I would say better. I'm not sure if they've done any adjustments in Zwift with the drafting, but I do know that they've added some changes within the last year of how it affects your riding, depending on how close you are, what kind of angle, which does make it more realistic, and it's nice. But of course, any sort of lag or trainer malfunctions, and it's super easy to lose the wheel in front of you and have a bad time. But that goes for outdoors as well. There's been plenty of races where, you know, you miss a shift and they slowly start pulling away. And you can at least draft with time trial bikes and on the outdoors. Yeah, that's my favorite part about the Z1s, is especially in like Neo Tokyo. Yeah, just all sorts of colors. You get those big packs of riders, and it's just a rainbow of neon that flies past. Yeah, so the drops are kind of like the points. So the more you ride, the more you're with packs, the more you're with more workouts or courses, segments you do, it gives you those to buy the frames and the rims and that sort of thing. And I have to say, they're pretty accurate to what's happening in real life. Yeah, so the only the neon ones are this the Z1 concept, like the Tron bike, and you unlock it from the Everest challenge, and sadly you can't put anything else on it. You can't like swap the frames and wheels with anything else, which would be cool. I wish they added that. It's supposed to be a good bike for overall hills, flats, climbs, kind of neutral and everything. So it'd be nice to switch those wheels onto other bikes, or put more time trial wheels on them, like a disc, but you're kind of locked in with just neon for just the bike. You can at least change the color. It'd be nice if they updated it. Yeah, it does make it kind of interesting, and you can kind of min-max if you want to, but at the same time it's frustrating that some bikes are just inherently faster, and it seems kind of weird. It'd be nice if there was at least some races that just took away any multipliers on the bike, and you could just, you know, all ride on whatever. It makes it a little strange. I think they do on a couple. Yeah, the upgrades I've never really been a fan of. I usually just dump them on the Zwift Companion, because there's the one power up that gives you like 10 XP, and that's the only one I want. The other one's kind of annoying being there. It's like they do just enough to sometimes be a problem, and then other times you'll hit a power up when you're struggling and hope that it helps, and you can't feel any difference. I wish they did some changes with it. It'd be nice. I think they can. To the best of my knowledge, all of them should, I think. They should be able to use them in I'm not sure if like the segments have any effect on them or anything, but I've seen some people activate them going through. So to the best of my knowledge, it should work. I always forget what does what though. They all seem to not change too much, but I always get them mixed up on what is supposed to do what. Yeah, so that's the downside with the companion app, is you have to have your phone right there, and on one of my bikes I have a mount for the phone so I can at least keep hands free while riding, but then if you're climbing or over the handlebars, you keep having to, you have either your towel on top of it or you have to wipe sweat off the phone, and that's just frustrating. Yeah, exactly. Every time I've tried to unlock the phone while riding, it's not a very easy process. And it's, yeah. I wish they allowed you to get Zwift Companion like on your browser so you could put it somewhere on your computer or something, because I understand the idea, but the phone is, yeah. Yeah, the Garmin computers are slick. I like those. I've been right in between getting one of those. I got the phone mount to see if I liked it, and it's been okay so far, but it has shown me the positives that getting a Wahoo Garmin computer has in the long term. And now the new ones connect with like all the telemetry you could want, all the apps. And they just work perfect. And they're usually a lot smaller and more, I would trust them more in crashes. Exactly, I've heard that it does kind of add in the writing process to give you the info you need, but not too much, and kind of streamline the process. And it's not like a huge thing on your handlebars. I always get worried the phone's gonna, fall off, and no matter how good the case is, every crash I've been in, the phone always takes damage in some way, shape, or form. And the Garmin's are just perfectly sized. You don't have to worry about that usually. They're usually really quick on GPS and pretty accurate, which is super nice. That is definitely something I keep checking back in on every once in a while. Plus Garmin just makes great stuff. Always a fan. Those riding computers are so great. Yeah, so I use a Garmin watch for the computer usually, but I usually am the odd one out with not having the computer up. 'Cause you are right, the Garmin and Wahoo computers that is usually the staple for riding, which makes sense. They are fantastic. They are really good. You can always count on them being on the people's bikes. I've liked the watches, but especially in aero bars, they like to catch and move them around, which isn't the most fun. So I usually use it as like a backup. I'm just waiting for, some sales coming up hopefully over the season. See if I can get anything good. Hopefully some sales on stuff. Because as much as I love the watch, it is definitely not to the same caliber as the computers. There you go. That's the dream. Sponsorships are... I had some in past teams, and man, it is so nice being able to just to get stuff. It's like I'll put a sticker on anything if they give free things. Whatever advertisement they want. Especially Garmin. They always make good stuff. Alright, let's see. We're coming up on 21 miles. We can swap over. See if we can get that time trial work in. See where we go from there. There you go. Always so jealous. You see those names on there. It's like, oh man, you got a good deal on that stuff or free things, especially Shimano. I love their stuff. I've tried SRAM a little bit, but Shimano has always been my go-to. Also, I can't afford Campanolo, so I pretty much have the two choices. So Shimano usually wins out. They make good stuff. And that's the dream. All the jerseys and everything, and of course, it's pretty cool. Yep, that's
Trek Shimano. That's actually my my main road bike. That is the combo. Always love going with that. Pretty reliable too. I have had very few issues with those. Right now, let's see. So right now we're actually on an Orbea Ordu time trial, and this one has Di2, just Ultegra, 9-speed. The Trek is a Di2 11-speed. Both, you know, they're both Shimano, so they are. I love them. They do a very good job on their stuff. Nice and solid. Very few issues with them. Haven't really had to replace any parts. Makes it nice. Alright, there we go. Let's see, let's get to about 22. And then we'll hop on to the time trial stuff. See if we can get a head start on the weekend's work. .105 is fantastic stuff. I actually had a couple components of 105, and they work so well. They are solid. I love them. Shimano does do a very good job of, no matter what level their stuff is, it's good stuff. That is one of the best parts. When you go past somebody and they have all the money on you, on their bike versus you, it always does feel so fantastic. There is, honestly, that is one of my favorite things, and always remember that when upgrading, you know. Sad part is, you know, like when you get into like the Dure stuff, the diminishing returns are quite evident. I think Velo magazine actually rated the Ultegra Di2 higher than the Durace group set, just because they did a blind test and like nobody could tell a difference. I think that was a 2015. It was pretty great. And plus, it's all Shimano. So I would say most of the time the difference is very, very small. I think the 11-speed, the only time I really noticed a substantial difference was like climbing. You get a couple more in the back to move around to, but the 9-speed right now, haven't done much climbing on it since it's, you know, more time trial oriented, but definitely small, very small changes. Usually the weight comes into play. You know, you can tell a difference in the weight a little bit, but again, only when like climbing, and even then usually it's on really big hills when you start noticing a difference. I switched to a what was it? Yep, that is a good point. One of the differences I saw in the 11-speed Di2 is you could keep up some pressure on the pedals, and the shifting was still pretty smooth. I think I was using what was it? Shimano XTR on a mountain bike, and I definitely noticed that if you wanted to shift, you would have to almost put it in neutral in the legs before you swapped around. That is definitely a change. Luckily with 105, I've tried shifting at some high wattage with 105 and it holds up really well. It does a great job. Alright, let's see. Alright, 20 through 5. What we're gonna do, let's swap over. Got a nice warm up in. We'll save that. Let's see. Let's do. It's like the only time I notice shifting in these is when you're doing high wattage and then you try to shift and sometimes it pauses for a second. I have noticed that one, even the Ultegra does. Let's see, we haven't done very many here. Let's do this one. I forgot that you could choose routes for the workouts like that until like 3 days ago. Yeah, there has been a couple group sets I've used that when you start standing up and sprinting, it wants to shift by itself. I ran into that with I think it was a Cannondale lefty, and like trying to get into the big gears and sprint, you could like feel it start moving around on you, and like you said, it gets sketchy. it's always scary. I'm always scared I'm gonna lose get the chain wedged in and damage the frame, or yeah, there's definitely something to be said for that. And that really does, when you start sprinting, that really does start coming out. The rest of it's pretty okay. I've noticed there's kind of a line where once you hit that certain wattage, it starts to not be as fun to ride with certain group sets. Luckily, like 105 and above, usually you're pretty safe on. XTR, a couple problems. I haven't ridden much SRAM. My old time trial bike had that, but yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's nice on hills that you can kind of keep the gears wherever and really change the pace with just cadence, and you don't have to worry about as much. And since usually you're not super fast on the cadence, you can easily slow it down to switch gears, and definitely, yeah, hills. I feel like hills hurt the rider before they start hurting the bike. Versus sprints, it seems like I think I've run into more bike issues in sprints than I have climbing. Other than flats. Flats happen everywhere. Alright, let's see. There we go. Perfect. So we're using ERG on the trainer right now, so we'll see how these wattage spikes are. Sometimes they like to grab onto the wheel and not let go. We don't have to shift, so that's nice. So we will see. Try to keep a higher cadence. Hopefully it doesn't go anywhere. But we're only 10 seconds, so we're fine. Not really any hills today. Just back and forth in zone 2. It's like we were talking about the warm-ups in the workouts, like this one, 3 minutes, and then into the acceleration sets. They definitely need to add a nice warm-up extender. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the workouts. They do a good job. You can also usually find some pro workouts that they write up and put on here. They're pretty great. And they definitely get the job done. But I have yet to find one of the workouts that haven't been at least pretty decent. And it's nice you don't have to shift. Helps kind of zone you in on what you're doing. It does take away some stuff. Like the Garmin Tacx is supposed to match the terrain. It's like cobblestones, dirt, that kind of stuff. And when you start workouts, it disabled a lot of that stuff. Which is sad, but you get a more consistent workout. Which isn't too bad. There we go. Yes, if it wasn't bad enough being on cobbles, they love to shake the screen all over the place. Which can get kind of frustrating, especially when you're on a long ride on cobblestones and it's just all over the place. I think there's options on disabling some of those things, but I can never remember. They usually have a pretty decent amount of options to change stuff. Let's up the cadence a little bit. There we go. Whew. Yeah, there's one of those groups. You get all the Z1 Tron bikes. It looks pretty cool. I wonder if the mountain bikes perform any different on the cobbles. If you get the same screen shake. I need to give that a shot. I haven't messed with the mountain bikes in this very much. Oh, almost missed that right on. Oh, so underneath the map, yeah. So that shows where you are on the route currently. However, it is very confusing since if you take a turn and it goes to a different route, it'll just shift on you. And it doesn't give you a warning or tell you, so I've never found that very reliable. It's nice when there's people behind you at least close and you can kind of see where stuff is, but yeah, no, you are not alone. I've tried so hard to understand that. It is always off. And like right now we went through that intersection, now we're showing we're going the opposite way. Yeah, so I can never remember if the green icon is supposed to be the end of the sprint or the beginning of the sprint. And it's usually vague enough it ends up in between. So yeah, that's I'm right there with you. Those, I wish they would either just get rid of it or change it to something that's more usable. I've tried to ride by it before and it just does not help. It's been more of a detriment trying to use it to pace off of than a help. Sadly, it would be nice to have something there to give you a better visual of the path, but it's kind of all over. Even if you pick a segment, it shows whatever it is if you went straight, not what the segment you're going to be on is, which is very frustrating. And all the points of interest are wildly all over the place. Like you said, trying to start the sprint off of the green icon just never works. I've missed quite a few sprints trying to wait for that and finding out that the dot on the map is like a little ways after the beginning of the sprint or somewhere in there. Hopefully they do some changes on that. It would be cool. There's a lot they could do with it, but as it is right now, as it stands, it's not the best. So I've never seen a warm-up like this. They're kind of all over the place for this starting. I wish the workouts lined up a little better with the segments. There's been so many times where you get up to a sprint or a hill climb and it lines up with the recovery interval. So you get over that line and slow way down. Which happens. There we go. We're not going to get much climbing out of this route, but we'll get some decent distance in. Usually the distance doesn't pick up until the main set of intervals. So we'll see. We'll go for another 20 either way. Hopefully it gets us there decently far. But we'll see. Sometimes the workouts seem to get you some crazy good mileage, and then other times it's just hills and your mileage is left out to dry. So we'll see. Also, we'll take this time to kind of stretch out from Aero for a second. Aero bars are fantastic, but man, kind of end up kind of crumpled over in them. But we are back on in 35 seconds. There we go. Yeah, that's what I would think. You know, they definitely have some income. I would think they would. I wonder if there's anywhere to submit ideas or anything, or like sometimes they have a yearly open like Q&As. I hope they do that at least. There was a couple things that would just be perfect to add or change. I feel like would make it overall a better experience. 'Cause I'm pretty happy with it right now, but there is a few glaring things that I wish they would adjust or change. And like you said, being a monthly fee, I would think they would have a decent income on it. I guess the back end must be pretty expensive. I don't know what kind of infrastructure they use for their data centers, but whatever it is, data centers are not cheap. But again, I think last time I checked, they have 500,000 users, or like 300,000. So that's $15 a month. That's a lot of money. That is not that is not too bad. Hopefully they do. Hopefully they do some changes. They update decently often, which is pretty cool. I guess so. I guess all of it's for all of it's for the Tron bike. Maybe they'll add NVIDIA RTX support. We can get some ray tracing on all the neon bikes. That could be kind of cool. But, you know, you gotta have the budget for the Z1s. Make it all fancy, I guess. Let's see. There we go. Thought we ran out of water there for a second. But we are good. Alright, let's see. Luckily this is a build-up interval. So we'll get to about... Oh, check that out. That is quite a bit of PRs we got over here. Good for them. Way to go. That's awesome. They must be in a group. Let's see. 2 minutes, 4 seconds. I'm going to back up to 2:35 for a bit. Oh, they have a race pacer behind us, or a pace group. Looks like it's the Cat C group. Usually the Tacx get a lot of PRs in it, which is always fun. Ooh, this arcade route is the bane of my existence. Every race, it's always so close corners. It's so easy to lose a wheel. Let's see. Well, also we'll back off the cadence just a little bit. Try to keep it in between that 90 to 95. That way we're not spinning out. Help keep the heart rate a little bit lower. For an anaerobic, that's just about on the money. We will see though. Usually the zone 4 work puts a decent amount of stress down. Should be good. We'll see. There we go. Gotta love threshold. It's the quickest way to really start feeling it. Thanks, G. There we go. Hey, we got a route done. Perfect. That's always a good way to get XP. It's sad it's only a one-time deal though. I wish they gave you a little bit of XP for every time you do a segment, but only the first one. There we go. So it looks like we'll get some decent distance out of this segment. I'm thinking probably 2.5 loops. If we can do one loop in 18, 19 minutes, we should be able to get a couple more in. Hopefully 2 more for the main sets. I'm still back and forth on this one. Yeah, thanks for coming. Come back anytime. Have a good rest of your day. All right, let's just keep this zone 4 nice and steady. Hopefully we can stay solid. We'll have to lower the cadence a little bit though. There we go. 310, and then we're back to 130. There we go. Let's grab some water. Ooh. There we go. Problem with moving around on the seat is you're a little bit more comfortable for a second, but your cadence and wattage goes all over the place. All right, 215. We are almost there. Two minutes. Over halfway. So we'll have to try to keep a pretty stable cadence through these main sets. But 30-30s they're easy to mess up. So we'll try to go for that 90-95. Keep as steady as possible. We'll see. But 295, that's not too bad. 295, 130. Big jump, but we can hold that. We'll just have to keep a high cadence going into it. Try to even out that transition. Sarah says, good recovery ride. Not, and I feel that. Recovery rides are so easy to mess up. You end up feeling so good, you can just, drop some wattage for a bit. There we go. 20 seconds. We'll grab some more water. And we're through. We'll stretch out a little bit. Get the legs moving. And then we're back in. ERG can be interesting on these. So we will see. If it doesn't work out well, we'll have to switch it to manual shifting, which isn't too big a deal. We'll have to pay a little bit more attention to cadence, but it'll be okay. All right, 2 minutes, 10 seconds. And then to 295. There are 12 intervals, so that will probably work pretty well at building up some lactic acid. We'll have to remember to keep a good enough cadence that it flushes out the legs. But it should be good. Should not be too bad. Or it can be bad. Either one. Sometimes the bad workouts are the most fun. You feel more accomplished. All right, halfway. And then the real stuff. And let's stretch out on, use the bull bars for a second. Okay, so they're counting that as the warm-up. That's an interesting warm-up. I guess that is a little elongated with some accelerations in there, but that's interesting. Usually I try to stay out of zone 4 for long periods of time for the warm-up, but it seemed to work okay. All right, 40 seconds. All right, so our only goal is keep up the cadence and keep the heart rate at least in like zone 3, zone 4. Most likely zone 4, but we'll try to keep it out of zone 5. They're not long enough to really warrant it, but we'll have to pay attention for sure. All right, 3, 2, 1. There we go. 295. There we go. Perfect. I like this little loop. It's like a slight incline. You have to change up the cadence a little bit, but not enough to cause any problems. And 3, 2, 1, down to 130. There we go. See, that should have felt comfortable. It's the multiple efforts that cause the fatigue. That is true. One of these by themselves are not too bad, but a lot of them, I guarantee we're going to start feeling around 7. There we go. We'll try to keep the cadence around that 90 to 100. If it goes high, that's all right. We'll just shoot for kind of 95-ish. Three, 2, 1, and down. Woo! We'll grab some water. Gotta be quick though, because only 20 seconds left. You like finish one of these and the gate's right in front of you again. Nine more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and up. All right, let's settle in. Nice 295. Luckily 295 is just starting to get into zone 5, but not far enough that it's doing any major damage. There we go. Perfect. And we just spin through. Nice and easy. Grab some water. Actually, no. Let's grab water on the next interval. If we grab it now, that might hurt. There we go. 295. Bring down the cadence a little bit. Perfect. There we go. The readout of the end of these are always fun. The graph is just all over the place. Let's hurry and grab some water. All right, we are 10 miles in. That is not too bad. We'll just keep it steady. We can probably, we'll see, and around 20. If not, we'll just pedal out the last little bit. And 10 seconds left. That's what I love about these, is the recovery is short, but so is the main interval. All right, one more and we're halfway to the first. All right, so our heart rate, bottom of zone 4. Not too bad. As long as we can keep this stable. All right, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Back up to 295. We'll lower the cadence just a little bit. There we go. And check that out, already 10 seconds left. Ooh, that was a Cat B group that just went past us. That's killer. And we're halfway through the first one. We got two sets. Let's see, how's your heart rate responding? It is gradually increasing. Oh, that's a question. Is it? It is. We read that as a statement, but it works. All right, 3, 2, 1, and back up. "20 seconds. All right, so if we stay steady enough, we might be able to make it to the 4.4 million on points today, which is good. With our review the gear goal, we'll need to save up as many points as possible. I'm thinking if we do each review on the bike frame, whatever, a few times, an average amount, that could work. We'll keep figuring out stuff until we get there at the end of this time trial regiment. Pick up the cadence a little bit. There we go. As long as we're in between 90 and 100. "13 seconds. 5 seconds. 2, 1, and through. Let's grab some water. We'll have to grab ourselves a celebratory stroke waffle at the end of this. I think they're good for recovery. We'll see. All right, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. It does increase oxygen take-up. I wonder if that helps VO2 max at all. I feel like it should. Put some strain right there. All right, this is our second lap of the course. 3, 2, 1, and down. Perfect. That's what we're looking for. 3 left. This is definitely a death by 1,000 cuts kind of feeling. Since those 30 seconds go by in 30 seconds. All right, back to 295. Just quick enough for both workout and recovery. Ten seconds left. Two, 1, and down. There we go. Okay, that graph at the bottom, that's looking okay. We're keeping that pretty consistent. That's what we're looking for. Only have that one quick trainer dropout, that's fine. All right, 3, 2, 1. There we go. "20 seconds left. "10 seconds left. So we got about 2 more of these, and then a 5-minute cool down. There we go. And there's our gate. Last one. Again, the hard intervals are fast, but the easy intervals are just as fast. All right, no max heart rate at the end. Perfect. All right, let's see what this is. All right, 295. So it looks like we're in like the 160s, which is not bad at all. Just where we should be. Not too bad. Better than 2 days ago. 2 days ago was really high. All right, so we are 160 on the dot. 161. Watch has us 161 as well. Perfect. Okay, 162, I guess. 163, 162. That was all over. We'll go with 163. Sometimes it takes a second to catch up and get an accurate reading. All right, 5 minutes on recovery. We'll sit up for a second, stretch out a little bit, and grab some water. definitely builds up over time. They were not kidding. But as long as we keep it steady, we shouldn't have too much problem. Oops. Yeah, trying to move around on the seat at all always kicks the wattage all out of whack. Yep. Heart rate, let's see. Are you completing the efforts at the same cadence? Yeah. We've been pretty solid so far. We'll have to remember to keep it out of the hundreds. It's getting a little bit out of there from our goal. As long as we can reel it in. I feel like 100 is okay, but we'll try to keep it at least a little bit under 100. Naturally, it's going to get a little out of hand in the higher ones. That's just the way we lean. So we'll just hold on to that, and then of course into the 130s we'll just keep it steady. All right, 2 minutes 49 seconds. We're almost halfway, and we got our second main set. We're probably going to run into this workout, I would say 2 more times, probably in like a week or so. I wouldn't be surprised if we had another set of 12. And then usually the last week, there's another one of earlier workouts, but with like 2 extra intervals. Oh, this one doesn't feel too bad. We'll see what we feel at the end of the 12, but right now, you know, 1 or 2 doesn't feel too bad. Let's check heart rate. Okay, so watch is a little bit high, but it also, let's see. There we go. Okay, watch was at like 160, but it had slipped off my wrist and wasn't making very good contact. Now it's, okay, there we go. Now it's 139. So it is 134? 133. Now they match. Okay, so wrist and chest heart rate is now matching. The watch sometimes just goes haywire. It gets way off every once in a while. Like there just a second ago, we were like 20 beats per second off. We'll have to look into that some more. I tried cleaning off the sensor. That seemed to have helped a little bit. Not super helpful, but a little bit. Enough that there's a noticeable difference. All right, 43 seconds, and we're back. Thanks, Lee. So these ones should be a little bit harder since we already have some build up from the last ones. But it feels like the legs have flushed out mostly over that 5 minute. So they shouldn't be too bad. Or again, they can be bad, and we'll just use this to work on just suffering through. Positive either way. All right, 4 seconds. Let's go back into aero. Also loosen up the shoulders. Man. I need to mess with the fit on the aero bars on this. All right, 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and we're through. All right, there's our gate. We don't get any real rest on that. Oh, check that out, right behind us. We got some people that are hauling. Way to go. That's awesome. Well, that is holding that 10 watts per kilogram for a while. All right, 5 seconds. All right. Just gotta keep the feet doing circles. Don't want to point too much. 10 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Woo! There we go. Let's grab some more water. I use one of those goo liquid energies, and they're pretty great. I actually really like them, but they could really use some caffeine. We have none in there, and I miss it. That is 1 point to Roctane, because it definitely has the edge. Because you can definitely feel, I think it's only like 35 milligrams, but placebo or not, it's noticeable. All right, 10 seconds. All right, so we have 5 miles until we hit our goal. That's not bad. "23 seconds. Is your cadence the same as the first set? Yes. Yes, it is. I think. I didn't really pay attention to cadence that last time. We'll pay more attention now. We'll keep an eye out. All right, let's get back up. 295. So let's keep it between 90 and 100. 20 seconds left. "11 seconds left. Three, 2, and 1. Perfect. There we go. Not a problem. All right, so yep, that 90 to 100, that's been doing us good. We'll keep shooting for that. Heart rate's just hitting that 160s. All right, 3 seconds. There we go. 99, 97. Okay, 96. That's okay on cadence. It won't be too bad. 10 more seconds. 3 more seconds. 2, 1. There we go. All right, so this next one, that's going to be our halfway mark. Second set. Let's grab a little bit of water real quick. We're getting a little bit close on that one. 3, 2, and 1. 295. I keep letting my shoulders get all tight. Feel pretty confident on the road bike on keeping the shoulders loose, but in aero bars, I don't know, it's different. it engages easier almost. All right, halfway. Yeah, definitely the build-up hits slightly earlier. I feel like not until 10 on the last interval set did it start to really feel like it. But this one, getting a little bit on just the halfway point. But not too bad. I feel like our warm-up was good enough that we still have a lot of gas left in the tank. 20 more seconds. Eight more seconds. Hey, 17 miles. There we go. And through. Perfect. Let's grab some water a little bit earlier this time. Yeah, it looks like we're only going to be coming in at like 500 feet elevation, best case scenario. This might be a good flat route to test up on. All right, 5 more seconds. 2, 1, go. There we go. Oh, look at the little Shibinu. It's so cute. I love those. I love how they have them just wandering around the city. They're so adorable. Three, 2, 1. There we go. All right, 9 seconds. All right, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're on our last 3. We'll try to hold the cool down a little bit longer because I'm not feeling 5 minutes. That is just not enough. All right, 8 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and we're done. All right, there we go. Okay. So 3rd lap of this route. Not too bad. All right, so we are at 4.399 on our points. So we should be able to get 4.4 just up here. 3, 2, oh, the gate disappeared. What was going on with that? It was hiding from us. All right, 20 seconds. Three, 2, 1, and down. Let's grab a little bit of water. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Slow it down a little bit, then we can actually uptake the oxygen. All right, 2, 1. Second to last, second to fast. There's another sheep. Hello, guy. I love that. It's so cute. All right, 3 seconds. And down. There we go, 4.4 mil. We're making our way up, back from that spending spree. All right, 15 seconds. All right, no max heart rate for the end. All right, let's see it. 3, 2, and 1. All right, 20 seconds. Ten seconds. Let's try to keep the heart rate even lower. We'll see, that'll be our goal. Keep it under 160. 3, 2, 1. Hey, did we do it? Oh, so close. It was just behind. Hey, last one was 163 though, so we got lower heart rate on the second one. All right, up to 180. So it looks like we should come in around 20 miles. Let's grab a little more water though. Go. Try to keep it within the 90 to 100. It's easier to drop it, drop the cadence in the cooldowns, but let's try to keep it steady. We'll see. Oh, we might be coming in right at 20 miles. That'll work out perfect. I'm thinking we add like 2 more miles though, just because 5 minutes is, and that's not a lot. We'll forego our average wattage and just keep it more steady. That'll probably do us more good in the long run. All right, 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Nice and easy through here. We did end up, I forgot to switch to the town trail bike for this one, but the Z1's been doing good so far. I'm a fan, I have to say. I like it. And we finally got the color we were looking for. We wanted the cotton candy look, and we got it. It's right in between that blue to, what is it, purple transition? That took some finessing. I don't know why, but it was hard to get that. Now, just hopefully, I think it resets when we change bikes, so we'll have to find it every time. We can get it. We can get it. All right, 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Okay, so I'll have to post a video, but I tried a new bar before the ride. I'm a huge fan. So I'll have to show everybody. Because it was actually really good. It was kind of like a Cliff Bar, but it was a little more fluffy. Had a lot of like seeds and stuff in it, but it was really good. Like, I very much enjoyed it. It was more on the food side of things. And it wasn't too expensive, which is very difficult to find. You know, so. I'm actually pretty excited about it. Because I picked the one I thought wasn't the best looking flavor, the one that I didn't think I'd like the most. So I'm pleasantly surprised. We'll have to upload a food review of it up onto YouTube. I'll see if I can put a notification on Twitch. Still trying to work out this whole restream software, you know, for the multi-streaming. Not quite used to it yet. But we're getting there, we're getting there. It'll come with time. Also, I think there's some plugins that need to be downloaded to get everything running smooth. Right now, it's just kind of running stock, which has been okay so far. But I feel like we can make some decent headway. Also, I really need to do some patching on my computer. It's struggling. But just stable enough to stream. Also, luckily Zwift isn't that graphics intensive, so we're not really taxing. CPU right now is at 1.8% usage, so we are not anywhere near capacity. Adding the plugins and stuff will surely, you know, start taxing the budget, but not too bad. Most likely, we'll see. Maybe it will. I'm kind of just making it up as I go, so I don't actually know for a fact. All right, let's see. Critical power. Okay. Okay, so our max was 166 after that threshold, so that's not too bad. That's better than I was expecting. I was kind of worried on the volcano hill climb during the Roubaix practice when we hit 201. I was a little worried then. I'm glad we've been able to work that back down. All right, let's hop down some gears. I'm thinking we go to about 22.1, of course, always the 0.1. But we'll try to work our heart rate down a little bit more. I think from the Zwift heart rate zone standpoint, we're in around zone 2, zone 3. So if we can hold a little bit lower into zone 2, if we can hold on to that, that'd be perfect. So we'll do another mile here at this pace, up in the bull bars. See if we can get some a little bit more oxygen moving. Nice and easy. There we go, 132. Spoke too soon, 135, 136. Oh, right as we start paying attention to it, it starts moving its way up. Just perfect. We can get it though. There we go. Okay, so we're about 500 feet. That's what you're looking for. That's expected. But since we finished the Everest challenge, now we're doing the Italy challenge is just distance. So we don't have to worry about our hills too much. We'll have around, what was our first ride? I don't even remember. I completely forgot. I know we did like 24 miles, but I did not pay attention to the incline. That's on me. Hey, there we go. Okay, we're in 129. We are in like little baby watts though, so if we weren't getting a lower heart rate, I'd be kind of scared. All right, half more mile. Or 0.6. Always a 0.1. I've had way too many times where it's rounded down on us. So if we do 0.1, we don't have to worry. All right. Nice and easy. Actually, let's hop down a gear, spin it out a little bit more. We can use that to flush the legs a little, just a tad more. The higher cadence does a good job of kind of moving the blood around. You can grab the lactic acid and kick it on out. Helps with build up. There's our giant neon taco friend. Look, our bike almost matches. The back wheel matches the big old taco. It's so cute. See, if Zwift sold like stuffed animals of those, dude, I'd be all over that. They need to sell more of their stuff, like the jerseys and the kits and the tacos, that kind of stuff. I'd be all over that. They did actually just drop a new set of equipment, like water bottles and towels and stuff like that. But I haven't looked into it too much. There's the Ava 01 building. That's our point of reference for this course. All right, 22. Let's do 0.1. And then we'll call it. 22 point. Almost there. Oh, we are about halfway through level 29. We are well on our way. There we go. 0.1. Perfect. That was a solid day. Not too bad. Let's see, where did we get in Italy? Oh, somebody gave us a ride on. We got a... Oh, never mind. The ride-ons disappeared. Okay, our average power didn't go down too much. That was okay. Let's see, what are we looking for? I was gonna check something. I don't know what it is. Let's save that. I think I'm gonna try connecting Trading Peaks to this and see. I haven't used Trading Peaks in a long time, but I have good memories of it, and I accidentally just shifted. There we go. Are we still in a... What gear are we in? Okay, there we go. I don't know what gear I just put us into. Perfect. There we go. Okay, so for the rest of the week, let's just plan on the regular 10 a.m. I think Tuesday. I have some weird stuff going on scheduling wise, so we will see. There might be 1 or 2 days this week that's a little bit different, but we'll plan on the regular 10 o'clock. I'm still working on trying to schedule streams from Restream, running into some technical difficulties, but hopefully we'll get that figured away. So yeah, should be fun. We'll keep working on our time trial stuff, keep doing just regular warm-ups. We'll see if we can mix up the warm-ups, try to grab some group rides in the mornings. That'd be kind of cool. I'd be down with that. Thank you all for coming. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day. Stay hydrated. Make good choices or not, whichever you find most entertaining. I'll see you later.